Hi Libra, it's so good to be talking to you guys. Happy birthday. Welcome to Libra season. I'm so excited for you guys that we've made it here. We've made it to your fresh, brand new beginning. We are here. We are ready. We are ready for the new beginnings that are coming for you. October is kind of a big month for everybody. October is a month of major truths coming to the surface, working out kinks, and really exposing any weak spots in your life. And so for you guys, this is your new year. This is your solar new year. Or for your rising, you're back in your first house. So there's a lot going on. And, the planet of expansion and luck and religious ritual, Jupiter, has been in your sign for about a year. And on the 10th, it's heading off into Scorpio, your neighbor. And, I think that planet has given you a lot of time to highlight where you needed to make changes, where you've needed to grow, where you've needed to relax, where you've needed to give yourself a chance to come to some new understandings. And so I think with the it's kind of finishing up that transit and moving on this month, you are going to be kind of reflective about that. You're going to be a little bit like, what did this last year bring me? Because I think it probably did bring you a lot of abundance and a lot of personal experience and a lot of expansion, but it might also have left you with some bigger questions. And, by the 19th, we have your new moon in your sign. And, new moons are always about planting seeds and intentions. And I think, that's near the end of your birthday season. So most of you have had your birthday by the time that new moon rolls around, except for a few of you at the end. And so, I think you guys are going to be really taking this month to think about where you want to take the next year. And not only that, but Pluto is doing a whole bunch of dances with different other planets, Venus and Saturn and the Sun. It's doing all these little dances. And also Venus and Mars are hanging out and hooking up, I think on the 5th in that Aries full moon, which is your opposite. And that's the other thing, that Aries full moon is going to be illuminating your relationship house. So there's a lot going on this month for you guys. And it really is a kind of a month for setting the stage for what you want your year to look like. And because we have Pluto, that guy that's so full of secrets and mischief to some extent, kind of doing all these cosmic dances, going direct, having gone direct in September, and then doing all these dances with everything, and then Jupiter moving, and Saturn finishing up that Sagittarius transit. There's a lot happening here about getting to the truth. And because this is in your sign, a lot of this is happening with the sun in your sign, you're going to be feeling the impact of this quite a bit. And, I did write a note for you guys, other than happy birthday. And what I said was, that you guys are you're the cardinal air sign. So you have the tendency to want to act on things all the time, but you also have this tendency to think yourself through the actions before you even begin them. And that can often make you feel very isolated and overwhelmed, and maybe even like you don't actually have, even when you have a community around you, you're doubting it a little bit. And I do think about Alan Watts, who says that, we're each these little nerve endings of a much larger system. Keep that in mind. You're a nerve ending. You are the universe experiencing itself. And I think you're going to be feeling the electricity of that experience this month. So my biggest advice to you before we even get to the cards, which I have finished shuffling and they're out, roll with this electric energy this month, because it is going to be electric for everybody. And because we're in your first house, because we are in your house of identity, you are going to be feeling it at a very personal level. But don't let that get to you, because I see a lot of beautiful things coming up for you. And I think you have all of the tools you need to move forward. So let's start out right away. Right out of the gate, I'm seeing work be huge for you guys. So we have the 3 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. These are fantastic energies, you guys. For those of you who have been working on a project for a long time, or working to get financially stable, or wanting to get some kind of artistic project or creative project or beautification project done, these cards are all about that. I mean, the 3 of Pentacles is that teamwork energy of working with people that get you. You know, 3 is the sacred number of flow, and we're flowing together with other entities, right? So there's this beautiful understanding going on here, this symbiosis. Jupiter is going to be leaving you with some of its last gifts before it goes into Scorpio on the 10th, so enjoy that. And this 8 of Pentacles, to me, this is you guys have worked your way through a lot of challenges in 1 year. Like I said, because you're kind of going to be reflective about that in your birthday season and with the end of the Jupiter transit, there's going to be this looking at everything you've done and realizing, give yourself credit for everything you have done, everything you have accomplished, where you have gotten yourself to, and think about where you want to take all this work that you've done, because where do you want to go next? You know, where do you want to take all this hard work that you guys have done? You know, I think some of you have really opened up some new doors over the last couple of months with what you're doing in the world. I mean, this isn't just about work or like making money. This can also just be about how you're, you know, you guys are ruled by Venus. You guys are about beauty and connection to other. And I think a lot of you have been sorting through what's really serving you in life as far as friendships, activities, living situations, and work, what you're working on. And because we're in your first house of like your identity in the world, think about that. You know, think about what you're contributing to the world and what's serving you and what's not, because the High Priestess and the Magician came out next. And now these energies are so spiritual. And they, one is about the centering. This is centering for you guys. So you know how you guys tend to get in your head, you want to understand and think and analyze through your experience of the world. You want to make it make sense. And so you love to sit and think. And I'm with you on that. I love to sit and think too. But the High Priestess doesn't think. She is a conduit for experience. And so I think when I'm looking at that note that I kind of just wrote down for you, and at the time I was writing it, I'm like, what am I trying to say here? And now I'm understanding what I'm trying to say. Both of these entities right here are conduits. So the High Priestess is a conduit of the knowing. And this is really watery energy. So it's not the Libran natural way, but this watery energy is about allowing the answers to come through you without rationalizing or thinking them, but with just knowing. The knowing. This is the knowing card. And I think a lot of you have been having pings about this thing that you need. When it comes to what this is, what you're doing in the world, you're needing to listen to these pings, because they will continue to ping at you until they start screaming at you. Just keep that in mind. And the thing is that the Magician, for me, whatever's pinging at you with this High Priestess energy that you need to change or address, whatever that core feeling is that you can just feel in your body, in your spirit, the Magician tends to come in. This is when it starts to scream at you, is when the Magician gets involved. Because the Magician is mischievous. The Magician is a destabilizer. You know, he's associated with Uranus. And this can come in the form of you getting, you know, a surprise or something getting shaken up, or even you doing something that feels a little erratic or out of place for you, who is always looking to kind of do right by everybody. You might find that if you're not listening to the High Priestess telling you what you need to be doing, that you lash out a little bit, or that you get yourself into a situation that forces the change because you've somehow decided you don't want to push into this territory. So there is something here. These are deeply spiritual energies. These are number 1 and number 2. You know, these are right after the Fool. So these are the first energies you hit into if we're going through the major arcana journey. And so once again, you know, we're in your first house. So what is it that you're trying to do in the next year? Because it is calling hardcore on you. It is like tapping on your window. It is looking in the window. It is lurking around in the bushes, you know, not to make it creepy or anything, but it's almost like this thing that's trying to sneak up on you. You feel like it's sneaking up on you. You feel like you're not sure you know what to do with it, but you've got to listen in this month. That's what I would say. The energy is extremely electric and intense, and it's shifting around, and there's a lot of vulnerability going on because that shift into the Jupiter and Scorpio is exposing a lot of our internal experiences of the world. This is going to be in your second house, this Jupiter thing. And that's going to be with what you love and value in the world, your money, your resources, what you're surrounding yourself with. And so I think a lot of you are going to be addressing that, and it may not be comfortable. So keep that in mind. And here's the thing. It has something to do with the mask you put on for the rest of the world to be comfortable with. Because after we have that High Priestess and Magician, which is like, hey, you've got to pay attention over here, we have the Moon and the Two of Pentacles right on the heels of this. And these energies, okay, the Moon, Librans, I love you guys so much. Truly, truly, I really do. But the Moon, okay, the Moon is your sensitive shadow side. This is your emotional journey. This is where you go into the, you know, like, you go into that nighttime path and you're wandering around in there. This is where, you know, your shadow side can live, but this is also where your deepest hurts or needs or desires or dreams can lurk. And I think a lot of you have been keeping in this energy, and this connects with the High Priestess as well, this watery energy of knowing that you need something. But there's this Two of Pentacles, and here's where Librans, you guys always get yourself into trouble because you want to make everybody comfortable. You want to make sure everybody's accounted for, everybody's comfortable. You want to have a handle on the social setting around you. You want to make sure you want to play a role that keeps everybody comfortable. And it's almost a knee-jerk reaction for you guys. You can't help it. It's something that's built into you that you want to make everybody feel that comfort. And this Two of Pentacles is speaking to that because it's this juggler. It's a juggler who's trying to like take everything and keep it all balanced for everybody else, but it's an impossible task because if you look at the background behind him, the ocean is doing these crazy, you know, this guy has no control over the water or those ships, but he's sitting here with these pentacles like he does. And for me, what I'm sensing here is that you have an intuitive thing that you know you need to address. You have something in this Moon side of yourself that you have to address. You know, you are such a relational person, and you're doing this instead. Instead of sitting down and saying, this is a truth that's coming out, you're juggling. You're playing the juggler. And like I said, this month is a month of truth coming out for everyone. You might find that you're finding out things about other people, or that you're finding things out about yourself, which is more of what I'm picking up for Librans, is that where some people might be finding out things about other people in their lives, you guys are having some kind of pinging about yourself that's not leaving you alone, because this is the third intuitive card in a row. But you're trying to. So watch out for that. Watch out for that desire to play a role to make everybody else comfortable. If you have a need in your relationships, in your work, in your housing situation, in your friendships, in your creative endeavors, in your partnerships all around you, that it has not been addressed, but it has been bothering you for a while, you have to address it. And once you do, the last three cards, you guys, luck all the way. We have the Empress, Temperance, and the Ace of Wands. This is fantastic energy for you, Librans. And I think by the time we do end your birthday season, we get into that new moon on the 19th, and then we kind of shift into Scorpio season, you're going to be feeling that you are sure-footed again. And that you are re-empowered to be that creative force that you are, that beautiful creator and conversant person that you are. Because, you know, the Empress, she does represent Venus. She represents creativity and love and fertility. And I think a lot of you are going to find that that truth that you are telling, that truth that you are expressing, while you thought that maybe by expressing it you would be burning bridges down or making things uncomfortable, you're actually getting rewards, because the Empress is positivity and reward and warmth. You know, she is warmth, and I think you're going to be met with a lot of warmth. Not only that, but we have this Temperance card here, which is about, you know, this connects with Jupiter, and it is moving into your neighbor, into your second house. It's moving away from Libra into Scorpio, but this is about expansion of your big ideas. And this is about rebalancing, and whatever it is that, you know, if you look at these two, this guy is taking these elements and just feeling all out of whack because he's trying to control things that are not in control, that he is not in control of. Because we're not in control of anybody else. We don't have the power to make anybody else comfortable or happy. And then we have, but this guy over here, Temperance, this angel, is taking, similarly is taking two goblets. This is the work of the internal. This is the thing, this is rebalancing at the very metaphysical deep level. And this is where you have control. And I think you're going to be finding that balance within yourself. As the energy of balance, it can get unhealthy when you try and apply it externally all the time. But the Temperance card is asking you to do it internally. And so I think you're going to be finding a lot more peace and balance by the end of the month. And then this Ace of Wands. I love this. This is some kind of fresh beginning. This is a fresh start. This is fresh energy. And like I said, we have that Aries full moon. I think a lot of you are going to be finding that romance is a big hitter in your life this month, that you are asking the big questions, you are making the big movements. This is a spark. This is a action card. This is a fresh start. And whatever was subliminal, whatever was hidden in the shadows of your subconscious, whatever was lurking in that high priestess magician moon phase that we were in during your birthday season, by the time we hit Scorpio, it looks like it is manifesting externally. And what's funny is that this is you being that conduit, allowing the voice to be heard, allowing the energy to come through you. And guess what? It becomes externalized evidence of your life. And it doesn't require you doing this. It doesn't require you juggling everything else for everybody else. It requires you chilling out, taking care of yourself, looking internal, doing your internal chemistry, your internal alchemy, your internal metaphysical journey. That allows you this fresh wellspring of energy that comes with a fresh brand new year. Now, I'm going to do something a little fun at the end of this video this month. I have the New Vision Tarot here, Tarot of the New Vision. It's a really fun deck that takes the classic deck that I work with and does the opposite perspective in every card. We're going to pull one card for you guys. And wow. And we're going to look at this and we're going to think about how we can shift our perspective a little bit. Now this is intense. We have the King of Swords, which is really interesting because you guys, King of Swords is often really deeply associated with Libra, with justice, with clarity, with fairness, with balance. Now, in the traditional, it's just this stately king on his throne, looking forward with his sword in hand. And of course, in this perspective, we have the opposite. And there's a little baby in the background. So here's where, on the surface, you guys often portray yourselves as very diplomatic, level-headed people. But behind the scenes, I think a lot of you feel like you're hiding a lot of hurt and a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. And like I said, you can think yourself into isolation. And to me, when I see this, that little baby with the sword, there's like a backstory. There might even be guilt or fear or worry, things like that you need to address this month. You can't just be that deliverance of justice on the surface and have everything look perfect. I think a lot of you guys want to look perfect on the surface. And this month is about you exposing a little bit of this vulnerability and sharing. And that is going to be your ticket to freedom. So keep that in mind. I think that's so interesting that we did get the King of Swords for you because it is your card. This reading is beautiful. Listen to your shadow side because it's a part of who you are and it has a valid thing to tell you. I would highly encourage you guys to check out the description box because I have my website and my email below so I can do readings with you guys. I love doing personal readings. I do them via Skype, phone. We can do a pre-recorded reading. I do all of those. I would love to hear from you guys. So please check out my website and my email and my Instagram. Also, you can check out the link for the jewelry that I'm wearing. Also, you guys, I'm starting to think about doing a weekly subscription service where you would get a weekly reading, for a small fee every month, like $5. I'd be doing weekly readings where we talk about the planetary alignments, a lot more of the specific aspects of each week. And I'll obviously pull cards for each of the signs, so you would get access to all the weekly readings. I'm still going to keep the monthlies free and up because I think it's really important to have this available to anybody. But I'm just curious if you guys would be interested in those weekly readings. If you would, please leave your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And like I said, check out the description box. Have a beautiful birthday, you guys. I love you so much. I think it's going to be a really freeing and enlightening month, so have so much fun with it. And I'm wishing you all the best, and I will talk to you in November. Bye.